It's prime. We're 3 balls in, then we 3 balls out. We all up on your screens like it's prime time's route. Mighty gets a score, and and PJ start to scout. Your rhyme's really trash. What do you think he's damn fouls? TBI the show, so buckle down, sit back. And Jay we trust, cause he's the leader of the pack. It's prime, Jewball.
This is TBI 3 balls in alongside my co-hosts Logan and Davo. I'm your host PJ's mid-season time. Thanks Logan for hosting once again.
Anytime.
All right, Davo. Some big action happened yesterday. I know you don't want to talk about it, so we'll talk about the other game that nobody wants to talk about either. But yes, we had an official Jewball tie. The Bop and the Lionhearts tied, which I thought extra points were supposed to avoid ties, but I guess it didn't work because there was a tie.
It doesn't avoid ties.
Yeah, I know.
It reduces ties.
Well, clearly it didn't reduce the tie because the tie happened yesterday. I think more importantly, what happened yesterday was the camaraderie of Jewball really was not happening. In-game fighting at its worst. Obviously, is something we don't want to get into right now because nobody wants to talk about the nastiness of it. But let's talk about the good. Trey is back. That's awesome for Jewball. Your own sucks. That's typical of Jewball.
I thought you were going to say that's awesome for PJs.
But here we are. Storm had a nice touchdown. Wow. Storm really stepped up with a big touchdown, tied that game up. Prime with another touchdown, the Prime connection. There was another one, by the way. I called touchdown on the film, but it was not a touchdown. But oh my goodness.
That was a great play. That was a great scramble and a great connection.
That was amazing. Amazing. But here we are.
Logan has no clue what we're talking about.
No idea what you're
talking about. He's like,
about.
that one thing with the...
Did a game happen on Sunday?
Yeah.
What is this he talking about?
We're talking about games that did not happen on Sunday. Did the Top Gun show up or did they all leave with Mighty? I'm just trying to figure that out. You all left with Mighty and that's when Roll Tide scored all their points?
Look, in Jay we trust, but in Mighty we travel. That's what happens.
Listen, I think Mighty should go up in the power rankings because clearly he is the MVP.
I mean, it was 6-0 when he was there, and then we gave up 25 points without him. That's a lot of points. That's a ton of points.
Case closed. But we'll talk about that later.
He doesn't want to talk about it all. He's just trying to avoid it.
Roll Tide.
Best team right now. I did call it last week.
Best team, worst name.
The best 2-1 team.
Oh, they're also the only 2-1 team.
First place.
Which would also make him the worst 2-1 team.
But I also think point-wise, they have the most points in Jewball as well, based on their performances. Listen, they are the best team right now. There's no debating it. There's no doubting it.
Look, you mentioned it last week, right? Like, teams that are healthy are going to perform better. And
exactly.
Those guys are younger. I don't know if that's a reason why. Maybe it's just bad luck. But to your point last week, like, if you're healthy and you're playing, you know, they say the best ability is availability. Listen, right?
Zin only had one touchdown yesterday. You're talking about...
I love how you said that he only had one touchdown.
Because you think about it, Swirly runs in for 2. That's huge, by the way, that component that he's not thought of.
Really?
The main Dax.
Oh, the main... Ooh. You mean the one who wasn't a guest on our show?
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So the interesting part is that he only throws one to Zin. I don't think he even hit his brother for a touchdown yesterday. He did got his brother for a touchdown?
Yeah. He said, whenever we're within 10 yards, he's going to me. That's what he said.
And then, of course, I think Ernie had a touchdown as well.
Apparently. I didn't...
I don't know.
Apparently. He's like, I didn't see it. I definitely didn't see it.
I truly forgot. I thought someone else had another one, but apparently Ernie caught one in the end zone.
So
my mistake. I'm sorry, Ernie. But
so Ernie catches a touchdown, let's say. And then, of course, Swirly runs into... That's pretty good. I mean, listen, Roll Tide are rolling away. Top Guns are 1-2 right now, the bottom feeders of the league. We assume with fully healthy Munch, Stinger, Mighty, that everything will be okay, right? Is that the assumption?
Listen, we don't play for regular season. We play for the playoffs.
I mean,
and that's what it comes down to. And until we have more teams to knock someone out of the playoffs.
But if the season ends today, maybe the matchup would be Roll Tide versus Top Guns.
I think it is.
But if the season ends today, it's Roll Tide versus Top Guns. You know, you play that with Munch and Singer and Mighty. Maybe it's a different game, but
and Logan.
Right.
Here's what I'll say. I'll say that it's all nice and good to say, hey, if we had some nice new shiny pieces to play on the team, the game would be different. But at the end of the day, 31-0 is still 31-0. And until, like, it's okay. Like, we could claim, if we added pieces, we'd be better. Right. But the reality is we got our asses handed to us. No. And right now, I think that our team name really should just be Guns, not really Top Guns, because right now we're in the bottom of the league, and shame on us. With all the talent we have, shame on us.
It's a roll tide game, and they just come out slinging. Dax has this great adaptability to defenses that I think
it avoids pressure really well also.
Well, see, we can get into this now, or we could do it later if you want. But
what's this later thing he's talking about?
What is like tomorrow?
but they have
late.
Well, when we talk about calls, they have snapping, right? They have open snapping, and he does a really good job doing it. And this allows Dax to start 5-6 yards back, even, or three yards back, and then he takes a couple steps back. It gives him a lot more time to survey the field because he's not.
It reminds me of like vintage Prey. Like when he started in the league, he would start before we had to like snap touching the ball. He would start like 10 yards behind the line
because if he knows, if he just has the ability to have the whole field, and with his weapons that he has,
if he's got
his
time,
brother and Zin,
even a lot of guys on that team that can play. Waldo,
I'm saying, and even Legs at the tight end, it's just and he can run. He can run.
He's a problem. He's a problem.
He's really good.
And listen, it's this is a team that right now they might have been 4th in drafting, but they're number 1 in play right now. And it makes you wonder about the guys out there that could have been drafted that were not. Open was there. Everyone talks about line. Open was there. Zin was there in the first round. They let him fall to number 4. Not questioning other choices in the first round.
It's hard to question the first round.
I'm just
second round.
It's like, okay, Zin is a top 4 player in the league. That's like not like belittling him.
Right.
No, but I'm just saying that there were definitely players. Their players all fell to the last week because we don't do a snake draft.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they also had.
Imagine how good they'd be if we did do a snake draft.
I know. I know.
Well, they might have had the same team.
No, they'd have Mighty on their team.
Correct.
Maybe they would have.
Anyway,
whatever.
But again, I think they benefited from. We said that Dax was at a disadvantage from not knowing all the players. The players he knew,
he did his homework.
And I think he had the advantage of knowing the players that were less known.
I would say not even he had the advantage of knowing the players that were less known, but he has the advantage of playing with those guys for a lot longer than some of. Like Fight hasn't played with Mighty all that often or with Singer all that often, but like Dax has played with his guys, like his brother and Open, and like for years.
Right.
So like it's not necessarily he knew guys better, but like the chemistry of the guys he drafted was already there, where like the current teams are still figuring some of that out. Prey and Prime, they've got their chemistry, but like there's new pieces that everyone.
Yaron had that with his team, but
in 193 or
what Lionhearts, whatever you want to call them, but they ended up in a tie.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm saying he also knew his team, but just one person's playing better.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. It happens. It happens. All right, I want to get into something though. Going back to the Lionhearts bot game, right? I want to look at some replays here.
Ooh.
All right, guys, really, really important. In this game, Bop versus Lionhearts, 2 controversial calls. Let's start with the first one that we got on video. Okay, here we are. Yaron.
I watched this, by the way.
I'm glad you did. Yaron is going forward for a first down. His whole body is past a first down marker, but his flag is pulled at the same exact time. But on slow motion video replay, he's clearly over the line. Goldberg, who grabs the flag, still has the flag in his hand, still connected to Yaron's belt. On the field, there was a controversy. When we went to replay, it was clear it was first down. Thoughts? Was it a first down, or should it be where the flag is actually pulled?
Well, okay, so if we could post this picture right here, we'll clearly see that Yaron's whole body is over the line with his flag still intact. So if you want to say it's where the flag is pulled, it's where the flag is literally comes dislodged from his belt where his body is,
right.
Not where the person pulls the flag and then pulls it back to them. So I have a whatever inch pull, so 2 feet, 3 feet, I'm pulling you back 2-3 feet. That is not how it works. If my body is there, it's where the flag comes out, not where you pull it to. Clearly it's first down. That's the only way it should be.
Logan?
Couple of things. Number one is we have to stop with replay. Like stop with going to replay. It's not a thing. Let's stop it. Number two,
they're watching replay as you're saying that.
Number two is defense makes the call. Like as far as line of scrimmage goes, defense makes the call. This is a defensive call because, by the way, if offensive calls it, I'm going to say I was in the end zone every single time. Right. So defense makes the call. We're assuming no one's lying. The reason going back to point one,
lie?
the reason I go back to no replay is as follows. The NFL has a camera that literally goes sideline to sideline and goes and can become parallel with the play.
Right.
PJ's is standing behind the line of scrimmage. At an angle behind the line of scrimmage, Yaron could look like he is over the first down marker. If PJ's was in front of the line of scrimmage, Yaron may look like he is not past the first down marker. It's all a matter of perspective. And unless you have a camera that is literally on the first down line, which we don't have and will never have, by the way, it's not reliable because, again, the angle of the camera shot will dictate where it could look. So that's why I think number one is defense.
I'm going to stop you right here. It's not the issue whether we use replay or not. We've been through this road before. The issue is where is the first down? Is the first down where the player is, or is the first down where the flag is pulled?
Quite frankly, it's wherever the defensive player says it is.
Okay, so that I think for me, I disagree with that.
Okay.
For me, I would say it's where the offensive player is. That's where he's down.
Because if you think about it, the defensive player will be the
defensive
first
player
person.
Is always behind.
Not
the
always. I
offensive
can be in front of you.
I know,
but
he could be on top of you.
Yeah, hopefully. But like my point is, the first person to stop moving will be the defensive player. The offensive player always knows that he got tackled second or third, or you know what I mean?
Right.
So therefore, his idea of where the flag was grabbed is always going to be too far forward. Almost.
By the way,
almost.
if you're coming at me and I'm going this way, your momentum's still going to carry you. And again, not to say
you're right, but this was a scenario where Goldberg was kind of moving sideways. It doesn't really matter. I still think it's a defensive call because, again, they will stop moving first. It sucks. It was,
but
close.
It's literally at the marker.
Okay.
So basically what you're saying is 1 inch one way benefits the defense, 1 inch the other way benefits the offense.
The only way to avoid this is to say that the first down is not. Let's just say the first down's on the 30. The first down you have to cross the 31 in order to get there.
But that's not fair either, because its reality is he's on the 30-yard line. He's on the 25, whatever the yard line was. He's on the yard line itself.
He's either an inch over or an inch behind, and the defense made a call. That's the end of it, and respect it. That's all.
But again, if the offense,
why? If I'm the defense, I'll always call it before the first down.
Yeah, not always. Like,
why not?
Because sometimes it's ridiculous. If the 30 is the first down and you got to the 25, I can't say not first down, right?
If you didn't get into the end zone, you can't always say you're in the end zone.
But I'll always say I'm over the first.
All right, let's move on to the next replay. I know you don't like replay, but let's go on to the next replay. Here we go. Let me set the scene for everybody. Prey makes an unbelievable throw to Veg. I mean, Veg, almost like a Tyree type catch, right? Gets up there, makes the catch. At the same time he comes down, Yaron is all over him, grabbing for the flag. As Veg makes the move, you could all see on the replay, as Veg is making a move to get away from Yaron, his arm angle is now at the same width of his waist. At the same time Yaron is trying to grab the flag. Is that a flag guard? We went with Devo first before we start with Logan.
I'll jump on this one. Flag guard is a call that should never be made in Jewball. Ever. It is the worst call possible. It is awful. Like, here's how I see. If I stiff arm you to the face and you put up your arm and our hands intercross and touch, that's fine. But if I stiff arm you down here and our hands touch, that's a flag guard. Flag guard is meant for a league where it's not really contact. So any type of movement I have, like the defender can wrap up the guy's legs and technically that's okay. If the reason you didn't make the call is because some guy put his hand down here, whether accidentally or on purpose, like, shame on you, make the fucking tackle. Like, it's absurd, and it is the worst. It is the flag guard is the worst call in Jewball and should literally never be made. Never. There's no excuse for it. If you got beat by a single hand blocking a flimsy little flag here, then shame on you as a defender. It's terrible. It's garbage. It should have been a touchdown.
Devo?
1
yard line. You just kept it stopping.
Whatever. I stopped watching after that.
I almost agree with you. Almost. I'm not. I'm not on the fence.
Okay.
I'm like kind of like.
Shoot, I thought we almost got 3 balls in, but I guess not.
Flag guard is the worst call. There are very, very, very blatant flag guards that some people will call that I would be okay with them calling.
You have 2 flags in one hand.
Yeah, but like there's some clearly like
I threw it. Yeah, keep going. Sorry, I shouldn't.
But no, it should not. Stop with all the calls. Just stop it. Let's just play football. Not up and shut up. Let's go.
You know, a week ago you sat here arguing that we shouldn't
Protect
tackle
the quarterback. I know.
quarterback. And now you're arguing, saying, forget the flags, just tackle the guy.
You know what it is?
Guys, no.
Protect the quarterback. Tackle the receivers.
Stop. There's a reason why flag guard exists. It's because if it was a tackle game, and it is a tackle game, we wouldn't need flags. The reality is we are not a tackle football game. We are a flag game. And the reality is we don't want people tackled. Now, sometimes tackling is the best option. But if somebody's legitimately going to block you from grabbing their flag, then yeah.
Go for the other one.
Then yeah, I agree with you. Tackle them because they're blocking it. Fine. But since that's not what we want, because we don't want guys getting hurt and we want to protect people, the reality is what we want to do in this situation is we want to make sure we're protecting players at all costs. And one second, and that means that if somebody is legitimately going to, whether on purpose by accident, swipe your hand away from grabbing their flag, that should be a call because they could have tackled you. And since they did tackle you, it's because why? Because the angle they were at does not allow them to tackle.
So you're only allowed to tackle if you flag guard?
I'm saying here's the thing. When I'm grabbing a flag, I'm not going full momentum because if I was going full momentum, I would tackle you. So I'm coming from you from the side. What I'm saying is when I'm grabbing I'm stopping myself. I'm trying to grab that flag. When you knock my hand away, you prevent a tackle from happening.
Here's the problem.
Because it's not tackle.
Here's the problem. No one is moving their hand down to block their flag.
I agree.
People are moving their hand down to block your hand.
Or that's
the height of where that happens, or nipple high versus waist high, is ridiculous.
Or it's natural.
I mean, no one goes like that.
And I know it's natural when you're running. You see the replay.
It's so dumb.
And if you see the replay, you see that it's natural that Veg is literally just trying to make a move. I don't think he's intentionally trying to knock your own hand away. At the same time, if Yaron felt like he had grasp of the flag and now his arm got taken away from being able to grab the flag, he has the right to make the call. On the field, that's the call. On the field, he was down at the 5. Now, again, we don't like the call because in theory, Veg wasn't doing it on purpose. But at the same time, if Yaron... Even if he was. But since Yaron made a call, again, respecting calls is something we've been talking about for a long time. Don't make the call, but if you're going to make the call, we have to respect it. At the same time, I think it's a legitimate call.
Just like we don't play with false starts, like losing yardage on it. I know. Just like we don't lose yardage on a false start.
Right.
I just think flag guard shouldn't be a call. You know what I mean? We don't play a delay of game. We don't there's a lot of calls we don't play with.
Listen, you can talk to the rule book manager, but at the same time, this is the rule, my friend. This is the rule, and this is the way it's going to be. It's time to transition now to the next part of TBI. It is 3 stats in.
Dun-dun-dun.
All right, Dave, hit us with knowledge here.
Okay, guys. Today's 3 stats in.
So far, it's only been 1 week. I'm 0-3. You're 2-1.
Yep.
I got a bad feeling about my chances here. Keep going. Yeah, let's do it.
Today's game is brought to you by the letter M. Keep this in mind.
Ooh.
Obviously, as we all know, the questions will get harder and harder each level we go. Starting with the first question. Yaron Markfeld, bringing that letter M.
Letter M.
How many winning seasons does he have? Just remember, we're going back for 4 seasons.
So it's 1920,
this season included
2021, 21-22, and 22-23.
Well, MVP year obviously was a winning season because he won MVP.
And I think he's got a winning.
193 didn't win a game. They were 0-3-1.
But he won a bunch of games that year,
Lost
and he played a lot of
lost vets rooks.
No. So 1920, and he won MVP 1920.
And
right?
this year he's got a losing record. I'm going
1920. He won MVP. He's got to have a winning record.
I'm going 2.
I'm going to go 3.
I'm going 2.
Yaron does not have a winning record.
Any season that can't
as far back as stats go on.
No, right.
Wow.
Really? Not one?
His win-loss.
His MVP season, he didn't have a.
Wow.
Oh man, you suck, Yaron.
Wow.
That sucks.
That's a good question.
By the way, from a guy who hated the win-loss ratio last week, I love it this week. That's a great question. That's a great question.
Second stat. Let's go.
Second level. In the Vets Rooks games for the past 3 seasons, so it's 1920, 2021, 21-22.
Which had 2 games.
Correct. It had the Old Young and the Vets Rooks.
Right, so 4 total.
There are 2 players tied with the most interceptions.
I got an idea.
Name one of those 2 players.
I got an idea. But you want to go first or you want me to go first? I think you went first.
Name one of those players, right?
I mean,
you go first.
I mean, in general, I would have guessed this, but because you dropped the theme of M, I'm going to go with Mighty.
So he said one of the two players.
Yeah, that's one.
I think the other one is Steve-O.
You mean Mevo?
only Dave-O and we go
He's like,
M.
the theme is M. The answer is Steve.
Right.
So Steve-O is actually correct. But the other one is not Mighty. It is Mayor Singer. They are both tied with 3 interceptions each.
I have yet to get one right.
There we go.
Yet to get one right.
Round 3.
Love it. Let's do it. Logan, maybe get a point this time.
I doubt it.
Last season, Munch had a crazy game, and he sacked Flash 10 times. Highest sack total in one game.
Please don't tell me it's how many sacks did Munch have.
Who held the record previously before Munch had those 10 sacks?
Do I go first? I went first last time.
Wow.
It's just a matter of whether I'm going to get it wrong first or
Who
second.
had the record prior to Munch's 10?
It's a great question.
Now, did he break? Now, he could have broken his own
That's
record.
what I was thinking.
Right,
It was
could've broken-
probably as much.
Broken his own record. I'm trying to think who
I
else.
have a question. Is it possible that someone has? Are you asking who had the second most sacks ever in a game, or who had the most sacks prior to Munch's game? Because let's say someone this season had 8. That doesn't count.
Correct.
Okay, so it's prior.
Who held
It had
the
to have
record
been prior to
him
Munch.
breaking
Gotcha.
the record?
I think I'm still going to go with Munch. I think it's like I just got to go with it. I mean, Singer though is a great lineman, so maybe I'm going to go with Munch. I'm still going Munch.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Munch also.
And you are both incorrect.
I knew it.
The correct answer is Beast with 9 in one game. And 33 almost sacks in that same game as well.
That's unbelievable. Wow. All right.
Apologies to Beast.
Apologies to be so 0-6.
Now I'm 3-3. Wow, Dave-O.
And that is 3 balls out.
No,
3 stats out.
3 stats.
All right,
Guys, that didn't
guys.
give away the answer to the question.
All right,
Valid.
great show again, Dave-O. It's now time to move on to our guest of the week. Guys, we have someone invading TBI for the very first time. Sometimes he's a Scoot, sometimes he's a Zin, sometimes he's an Invader. Right now, he's on the first place Roll Tide. Welcome to TBI. It is none other than Zin.
Zin.
Here he is, the Invader himself,
Yes.
the Scoot himself. He's in school, everybody.
Is
Sure,
that
yeah.
are you in school right now?
Yeah, I'm in school.
Computer lab? Where are you right now?
I'm in some random classroom, whatever classroom I was able to find.
Is that because you got detention or what's going on?
No, I got finals coming up. Late
I'm
night
pretty sure I've
study.
seen this video before.
All right, Zin, let's talk about it. You're ready now, midway through the Jewball season. What is it like being in Jewball?
I love it. It's a great experience, first of all. When I was told what Jewball was, you could never have understood. It's like it's impossible. Like people ask me, people ask, oh, you play in football? Like, yeah, I play Sunday morning league. It's like, oh, what's it like? I'm like, it's complicated. I can't really explain what Jewball is.
That's so spot on, by the way, because it's like you want to say like, oh, it's a pickup game, but like it's not a pickup game.
It's much more than that.
You say it's a pickup
Not a
game,
call,
but there's
not a
also a
call.
draft where people get drugged,
Right. That's right. Oh, that's so good. Yeah. It's like really hard to describe. It's like it's not leagues, but it is leagues. It's not pickup, but it is pickup. There's a podcast, there's like awards, there's a chat with 1,000 messages a day. Like it's really hard to describe without actually being in it. How does so obviously the Jewball experience is unique and kind of in and of its own, but how does the level of play compare to what you're used to seeing or what you've seen in the past?
Definitely more physical, for sure.
Shocking.
Competition is definitely higher here because people want it more. When I'm playing in like the Tuesday night league, people like to just joke around sometimes. There's half the league, like there's one team, the best team in the league, people say they haven't shown up in like a month. So like this league's unique, obviously, but it's
Is Solo on that team or sorry, that was a low blow. My bad.
They haven't shown up in a month either.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, it's just I definitely think it's a higher competition.
I love that. I love to hear that. That's what we love to hear, right? And that's like, it like feels a little silly to like pound ourselves on the chest because like we don't really have the perspective of like outside, but like when someone who's used to the outside game comes in and says it, it's always nice to hear.
Davo really wants to know, is your preferred nickname Invader or Scoot? Because he's really dead set on Scoot.
Or a third option that we don't know about.
Right. Like Mama's Boy.
Oh, I think I should leave.
Which is better or which is worse?
Which do you prefer is the better question.
I'm asking for Davo, asking for a friend.
Invader or Scoot? I would definitely prefer Scoot.
Yes! Wow! Oh, you heard it here, folks.
Rookie of the year.
You heard it here,
Go.
on
Yeah,
TBI, the exclusive. He prefers Scoot.
This is the happiest I've seen
Yeah.
Davo since last year's draft.
Oh wow! You really just made
I
it.
feel like the Scoot really defines me. I like to just do my own thing. I don't like
I
to
agree.
drive
The
the games.
Scoot thing,
Just
like
get
it's
there.
not just the scooter. It's like your style of play. It's like a very fast, very like shifty, easy, but not like that. But like it's good. It's like I love the
Do not
Scoot.
come on to another guest.
I'd love to come on that guest.
You should just try it once. You hit almost 1G.
I love it. I love it.
All right.
Who are some of the players you love playing with, and who's some of the people you like hate playing against? Not like you don't like them, but like who's someone who's like hard to play against?
I would say
You guys
definitely
laughing at hard?
the hardest corner. The hardest corner I've faced in the league is Irv. Irv is definitely the best corner I've faced.
Strong, he's fast. Yeah,
Right.
that
And
makes
also,
total sense.
he like Prime. I would say is also one of the best corners in the league. But Prime will easily give me some easy slants and curls because he's worried about getting burnt. Like
Right. He'll protect the over the top.
Head down, just starts running.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. For sure.
Irv plays a little more disciplined. He'll bite on the ball.
He's also no one's shocked, but
Crazy
he's strong.
jack.
He is
Crazy jack.
strong.
Crazy Jacks.
Yeah.
But Logan has banged me up the most this year. I had some bruises on my legs from Logan.
That's off the cover hard.
That's so good. Some of that stuff writes itself. I take look, I'll take a little pride in that. That's fine. I can live with that.
I think you want my name.
Yeah.
He wants to be the predator. All right.
And
listen.
definitely my favorite quarterback is Strilly. I love playing with Strilly.
You have to say that. Come on.
We clearly know you love playing with Shirley. Tell us about Roll Tide and how you guys are playing so well this season so far.
I would say we're definitely close knit, and we get to play with each other a bunch. We play each other Tuesday night, and I don't know, we're young, we have energy, and I feel like a lot of us got overlooked because of our rookie-ness, whatever you call it.
Is it so? Obviously, it's the two Daxes. It's open. Who else is there? Anyone else that I'm missing that's on your
Stats.
Tuesday team?
Yeah,
Stats. But has Stats played in a league game yet? I don't think so.
He
he's
hasn't
not
played
playing league. He
anything.
plays Tuesday night.
He plays Tuesday, but he's injured. Okay, but he is on. Got it. So he's
Working
on
his
that
way
team.
back. We're gonna get him.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's just what we need. You guys to get another good
Right,
player.
another good
That's just
player.
that's exactly what the league needs.
All right.
To get better.
So is it championship or bust for you guys?
Roll Tide, definitely. Championship or bust.
Love that.
He just loves the bust.
Love it.
Let's talk about your deep bench. Let's talk about it. You got Rook, you got Whiskey, you got Maor. Am I missing anybody else? It's their bench, right?
I think so.
It's a good bench.
Right. It's a really good bench.
It's a good bench.
And we have Stats who hasn't played yet.
Right. So if you look at your bench, which of those guys do you think you should trade away to help out the rest of Jewball? Because everyone is limping around. Everyone else is hurt. Anyone you want to give away for free? Because every team could use somebody.
Oh wow! Way to break up the team chemistry.
What
Hey,
he's really-
ask him which guy you don't like playing with. That's a bop move if I ever heard it.
What he really wants to know is how can he get traded to Roll Tide?
That's right.
There's honestly no one on our team that hasn't played. I mean, Moore hasn't played yet. I wanted to get in, but for everyone that's played so far, I mean, Rook has contributed so much to us. Even though he's benched, I mean, he's practically a starting defense. And Whiskey, when Legs couldn't play, Whiskey played insane on the line.
Yeah,
Right.
no, they're deep.
So
they're
honestly,
good, they're young.
if we had to redraft, I wouldn't redraft it any differently.
Wow.
Look, you hear that? That's so interesting.
But he's also a non-captain, so that makes sense.
Wow.
But going in the first round, I gotta say in a couple of picks because me and Sterling were both in the same boat. We didn't know that many people, so we worked through it together.
you
That was
also
one of the perks of drafting legs in the fourth round. We got a couple rounds of legs to give us some info.
that's yeah. Eventually they're like, we're gonna pick legs, but more so because we don't know anyone else. And now he's gonna help us find other people.
But
I don't even know Legs knew who he was that night.
By the way,
It's your fault though.
Honestly,
Well,
I didn't know who he
love-
was. Honestly,
by the way, I love the Waldo pick in the end of the 7th round.
Yeah, I agree.
Waldo just sitting there, I thought, oh my gosh, that's such a
Huge.
great pick.
that was my pick.
Was
That
I
it
played
yours?
with him the week before. I'm like, this guy's. I thought he was gonna go in like the 3rd or 4th round. I'm like, he's so good.
Yeah, he's
By the way,
solid.
saying that was my pick, there's no I in team, but there is in Zin.
He wants to take credit.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
We'll give some credit to Ernie also for
All
those
right.
picks.
All right, Zin, let me ask you another thing. Here we are. We're in the middle of the season, but we got to think future, right? What do you want to see different next season?
I like the way it's going. Obviously, the games yesterday, from what I heard from the other game, just less complaining. Just honestly, if people are arguing about a call that they honestly believe, I'm okay with it. As long as it's coming from an honest standpoint. I don't want to see refs. I like playing without refs. It's much better. I feel like refs kind of lower the standards of the game, if anything.
For sure.
I have a question.
You watched Sunday Night Football last night. I mean, that roughing passer penalty was just like
That's so good.
That's a fair
frustrating.
point.
Here's a question for you. How many more times is Morty going to suggest refs?
Hopefully never after watching this.
I don't know. I think he's brought it up like 3 or 4 times already, being like, hey, what if just someone comes and refs?
Yeah, I don't know why he keeps bringing it up. I don't like the idea. I do like the idea of sideline making calls. I think we should try to get the honest call and video. If we have video, go for it.
By the way, I'm totally with you. Like, if someone is making, like Jordan always said, the number 1 rule is assume the person's not lying. So if you're making the call because you saw him step out of bounds or you think you got his flag first, all right, that's fine. But like, unfortunately, it's almost like the same characters over and over again, always making a call.
Right.
And at a certain point, it's like, we've played X number of games and certain people have made 0 calls and you've made 12. Like, it seems like that's not always coming from the best place. But I totally agree with you, Zin. Like, if someone made a call and they truly believe by it, we should be, just supporting it and moving on. Like, next play, let's go. I hate wasting the time. I'm with you.
And
just
as
gotta
long
stop
as it's
making
coming from
calls.
a normal standpoint, meaning like it might be, there are plays where I could probably call passing interference. There's plays that people probably call passing interference to me, but it's chippy both ways. Like there was that play to me and Jordan. Like I clearly hit Jordan straight in the face and he came back and pretty much picked me up and tackled me out of bounds. But I enjoyed it. I mean, like, I don't think that should be called.
Right.
Football's a
Right.
physical game.
I think also we just have to be honest. Like, did it really impact the play?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
True.
Like, you know what I mean? If the ball is way over your head, like, let's be honest. Like, you weren't going to catch it anyway. Like, stop it. You know what I mean? Like,
Unless you're Sin.
well, that, yeah, agreed. But he doesn't make calls, so it's different. Like, anyway.
All right, final questions in. You coming to the Hanukkah party?
Yes. I might be late because I'm going to be in school till who knows when. But I'm going to try to get there by 9.
do you want me to write you a pass?
Did you just offer to give him a hall pass?
I did.
Wow. What a night.
Lord help.
Dude, 9 o'clock. If you can get there by 9, I think that's fine. Right? Let's say it starts 7:30. Most people won't be there before 8. And, Legs is cool, so he'll probably be there 8:30. But, like, at 9 o'clock, I think it's fine. We'll still have the festivities going on. Definitely worth coming.
If PJ's or Logan's hand you a drink, do not drink it. For
I'm under
own
21.
safety. For your own safety, do not drink it.
All right, Zin.
You're such a cockblock. I don't understand. Why you gotta be like
I'm
that?
not going to jail for you guys.
Zin, we appreciate you coming on. Please come on again, all right, buddy?
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's awesome.
All right.
Good luck studying and make sure you're ready for Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
All right, be good, man.
Peace
All right,
out.
have a good one.
Wow, that was a great guest.
He's so good.
All right.
He's so good.
Is there anything he's not good at?
He invaded TBI pretty well, and Logan, I'm pretty sure, tried to invade him as well. All right.
Why do you use that word tried?
That's
Keep
true.
going.
All right.
It just hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it's fair.
Logan, it's time for you to present to us something we've been
Last
waiting
segment of the
for.
night. we're going to do our mid-season awards tonight. Now, this is not who we think will win the award at the end of the season.
Right.
It's who we think is deserving of the award at this point in the season.
Love it.
All right. So we will start with, there are 4 categories. The first one we're going to start with is Rookie of the Year. Davo, who is your Rookie of the Year?
You know, this one was really tough, actually, because the rookie class is really, really great. I give the edge.
It's not Rook. Rook is actually not a rookie.
Right. This is not the Rookie.
Oh, sorry, Rook. I actually give the slight edge to Zin over Dax. Slight, but it was very close. But I just think Dax is amazing, but what Zin is doing is a whole nother level that we didn't know was coming. Everyone knew that Dax was great, and I don't think anyone saw Zin being this great as he is.
Guys, it's co-rookie of the year. I mean, the contributions of having another quarterback, maybe the best quarterback in Jewball, and maybe the best wide receiver in Jewball, and the fact that they're in the same team in the leagues. I'm going co-rookie of the year, Dax and Zin. You listen.
Wow,
you can't
talk about being on the fence.
You can't.
I was going to say, PJ's Davo stole your mic.
1 second. 1 second. Here's the thing, though. You can't pick one over the other because they both have made tremendous contributions. The one slight, which I would agree with you, and slight edge is that Zin actually plays defense full time. Dax doesn't mind not playing defense, but I've seen Dax have some good plays on defense as well. I think if Dax played enough defense like Zin, but again, Dax's contribution to quarterback at a league that's so hungry for quarterbacks, he's got to be a rookie of the year. Zin is just too good not to be rookie of the year. You got to give it to both.
While I literally hear what you're saying, I could not disagree with you more as far as giving it to both. I'm with Davo. I think Zin gets it. Dax is having a phenomenal season, but I think Zin gets Rookie of the Year. He literally is doing things where people come to games to see what he's doing.
Yeah, that's true.
He's doing ridiculous things. He's having a phenomenal season. He is someone who's hopefully going to be in Jewball for years to come. But my vote, Rookie of the Year, is going to go to Zin. All right. Next award is going to be Most Improved Player of the Year. PJs, let's start with you. Most Improved Player.
It's got to be Ernie. Got to be Ernie. I mean, listen, I know he was Rookie of the Year last year, right? But it's got to be Ernie because his play has been so much better on defense. He's become a lockdown corner. He's become tough. Last week, what he did to Yaron in the game in the 2-2 tie. I mean, the way he performed in that game, the way he played on Sunday, you got to look at him and say right now he's got to be the most improved player. And again, the other rookie who maybe he's contending with, rookies I should say, would be Bensi Waldo and Benji Rook, the Rook, because those two guys have also upped their game. I would say of the 3 rookies from last year who are all decent and solid, they're also our most improved players as well. But it's got to be Ernie. Ernie's got to be top of the 3.
Davo, what do you got?
You're just a dick. No, sorry about that. Clearly
you are what you eat, but
clearly it's Bert, the one guy you left off your list. The guy comes, doesn't complain, plays line, plays a pretty great line actually. He blocks. His defense is much improved than it was last season. He has great flag pulling. He has great pressure that he gets in. He gets bad balls at the line. He blocks. He's blocking top rushers in the league. And here's a guy. You're talking about guys that were drafted. Here's a guy that was thrown on a team. He's thrown on a team, and he's performing great. He's playing every league game, and he comes in, he shows up, and he does his job. Clearly, it's Bert. And I can't believe you left him off your list completely.
Well,
okay.
While we were somewhat 2.5 agreed on the last one, I think we're all going to go 3 different. My most improved player of the year is Sting. I know that the guy didn't get to play because of injury. Maybe you'd argue it's comeback player of the year, but I think most improved player is Sting. If you think he's disqualified, then my vote goes to Waldo. But I think Sting's having a hell of a season. We love the fact that he's back. Again, if you think if that's like, disqualified from being in the running, then my vote would go to Waldo. I think he's having a dominant, sophomore year, but it's either going to be Sting or Waldo for me.
Okay.
Next, MVP. MVP of the year of the league. I'll go first this time. Mighty. That's all I got to say. Mighty is doing more than just mighty things. And I think this year's MVP so far, you look at the stats, you look at the impact, mighty all day long. Mighty is my MVP. And I don't think that, quite frankly, It might be a little bit close, but it's not.
It's mighty. It's mighty for me also.
Davo?
You said it's a letter M week, right?
This week is brought to you by the letter M, but it is Moshe Zin.
Oh, look what he did there. Is his first name Moshe?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was on the fence for a long time about it, thinking about it, but because Mighty plays incredible defense, he's one of the top defensive players.
Yeah,
Still.
the Just So Mighty's greatness.
But like you said, Zin is doing things that people literally come down just to watch, and people stay just to see what he can do. He can do it. Man, he was kicking like 40-yard field goals without a shoe yesterday.
Yeah,
I know that
we
doesn't
don't
have to do
play
with
with
anything.
field goals.
I'm just saying this.
You want to tell me how far he hits the
Listen,
ball?
you gave him Rookie of the Year and MVP.
I did.
Okay.
I mean, it could be done, but
I think he might even end up touchdown leader. And he, for all we know, he could have like a clean sweep of Rookie of the Year, touchdown leader, MVP, and champion.
Okay.
He might have the greatest Jewball season ever.
all right. It is what it is. That's what Davo thinks. That's what Davo thinks. It's fine. By the way, I get it. I don't agree, but I get it.
All right, let's
The
move.
last award that we're going to go to is the chat MVP.
Ooh.
Davo, what are your thoughts?
This was also a good one. There's obviously a lot of good candidates. Logan, Steve-O, again, Zin. But there's definitely no TBD here. My chat MVP goes to Effie Allman. The guy doesn't even live here, but he reads every single message. He'll chime in perfectly. There's no one more dedicated to the chat than Effie Allman. And for you, sir, you're the true MVP.
All right, I'm going to go next. I'll save you for last. Davo, that is there's like a sign. There was a sign bug where they're like, "Oh, that baby is breathtaking." I'm pretty sure that take was breathtaking.
The true MVP.
Here's how I see it. Similar to the NBA, like Jordan didn't win MVP every year, and I think that's because it just gets tired to vote for him.
Right.
Like if we were really voting for the true MVP, it'd be the Wizard every single season. Like
Agreed.
there's no argument there. Like he's the best in the chat. It's him and everyone else. But quite frankly, I don't think we could give it to him every single year. So we're going to pick someone else. But again, if we were doing it based off of who's the best, it's the Wizard, and that is what it is.
For sure, you're agreed.
I
know. By the way,
but-
and I think you're.
whatever,
you're
we don't have to do
you're
that.
definitely
But
top three.
we don't have to do that. But anyway,
You're definitely top
this
three.
year, I think, and maybe I haven't been paying attention as much in previous years, but like I think Bert is killing it in the chat. I'm loving all of his contributions. He always makes me laugh, so I'm going to give my chat MVP to Bert.
You know, speaking of somebody who maybe has stepped up their chat game, he's gonna be a little surprised he gets a mention here. Big O.
You talking about Vig? Oh,
Big O. Big O. I mean, first that story with Jordan.
oh yeah, that was
just a perfect timing of the two of them, the synergy of the story. It makes sense, filling in gaps. But he's chimed in with some funny stuff here and there. You know, this is a guy who kind of tried to avoid the chat a few times in past years, and now he's become a main contributor of the chat, giving some funny lines in there, getting himself out there, embarrassing himself a little bit, which is what the chat's
That's
all
what
about.
it is, yeah.
You know, I'm all for Big O. I think he's improved his chat game.
You like the Big O?
It's hard to argue with the Big O.
You want to always give the Big O.
You always want to give it. Look, again, like I said, I might be able to argue with one of those, but I can't argue with the Big O. Anyway, boys. All right, that's our midseason awards. I'm sure everyone disagrees. Feel free to argue about it in the chat. Just don't argue on the field.
Here's the thing, guys. We've got a regular week of Jewball. Finally, after 2 weeks of leagues, we're back to regular week of Jewball. David, what's coming up this next week? What do we got next week?
Week 11.
Hanukkah party.
The Hanukkah party.
Hanukkah party.
By the way, anybody know any details about this Hanukkah party?
Yeah, I know that no one's planning it.
It might be the 21st, I think, maybe.
But if you have not given money to Salem, make sure you do so to help sponsor.
And Zin will be there at 9.
Right.
Scoot. He said Scoot.
Next week coming up, we have week 11. We have the Hanukkah party. Don't forget to donate to Salem's cause for the whole Jewball. Just remember, money for him is money for everyone. Don't forget to do your Secret Santa. And don't forget that we are 3 balls out.
Oh, Davo.
We were so damn close.
Yeah, you had such a good line there.
What are we? It's first.
Yeah.
What
Davo,
are we?
what are we?
3 balls in.
And we are now 3 balls out. Have a great week, everybody.
We're 3 balls in and we 3 balls out. We all up on your screens like it's prime time's route. Mighty gets his
Happy late week, Jewballers. It's Eve with the hug of the week. I'm in Seattle. I had to fly, which makes me think of the people who needed the hug this week. Who could it be? Could it be Top Gun? Maybe Fight. That was a tough game, bud. 30-0. I feel for you, buddy. Fight. You've got E's hug of the week. Gentlemen, we're not going to talk about the other game. It was a disgrace. We can do better. Let's do better for E. All right, everybody. Have a good one.
Level 3. This is the hard one.
Oh, yes.
All right, we're ready. Let's go, Davo.
In one of our special appearances from Megatron, aka Josh Friedman, he came in and caught 4 touchdowns. Fuck.
Please tell me the question was not how many touchdowns did he catch? You know, it would be great if you were like, in one of his special appearances, Megatron came in and caught 4 touchdowns. Who is Josh Friedman?
And we have
Oh, last year had 2 games.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
so all included. There are 2 players tied
Yeah.
for the most interceptions. Name one of the 2 players.
I hate to redo that one.
Dude, redo it. I'm so sorry. That's totally my fault. I fucked up. That's totally me. For those of you watching at home, because I'm sure this will make the outtakes, we have the Patriots game in front of us.
By the
I'm
way,
so sorry.
when he fumbled it before, I was like,
Yeah, I know.
All right, let's go.
My
let's go,
fault.
let's go.
Sorry. Start again.
sure. You look like a traitor.
Zin, it's a like flash Zin. I love that. Zin.
Here he is, the invader himself,
Yes.
the Scoot himself. He's in school, everybody.
Is that right? He's good. He's good.
Yeah,
You almost done with that stuff. I think
Yeah.
All right, so we'll switch. You don't have to rush it.
That was not even a cheek one. That was when he got hurt.
I was supposed to hang up.
Oh.
That's
Well,
like
this
end.
is Robert.
I love it.
That's totally making the fucking mountain.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that's so fucking
When
good.
Logan stood up, I thought he was gonna end it.
Wow.
He stood up, I thought you were ending it.
I'll get up and kick you out.
Open invite anytime. That was great.
Good thing we didn't make fun of him.
I'll see you Sunday.
All right, later.
I love it.
Oh, no.
You guys good?
I'm ready.
This is TBI 3 balls in alongside my co-hosts Logan and Davo. I am your host PJs. We are live again in the home of Logan. Thanks again for hosting.
Are we gonna do this again? Outtakes.